Hi, I'm going to read a few sections out of this just beautiful book by Julia Madsen, and it is titled The Boneyard, The Birth Manual, A Burial, Investigations into the Heartland by Julia Madsen. And it's put out by Trembling Pillow Press. There's their logo. They make the most beautiful books of poetry. So let me just read you, I'm going to read you a little bit out of each section. When you read through this whole book, it has the feel of being taken really on a journey. Start at the beginning and kind of work your way to the end. But I'm going to read you just a few of the really, really lovely pieces that are in here. So let me I mark them. In another dream, your tongue swells and becomes thick like a slab in wind, in the boneyard of whose longing wears a necklace of teeth. See how these are? The boneyard rattles with static, barbed wire, lightning, absence blowing over absence. The face of the desert in rain. Imagine. You didn't think you'd come back. The hounds shudder, the screen door ajar. Isn't it lovely? When the hunter's gunshot echoes, the landscape turns into smoke. Under the sleeve where the heart might be cuffed, birds fly out. Here, magic is the stumbling block toward making sense feel enough to even tunnel the dark. No Magic is a no-name bar where dim lips press against drinking glasses in blind premonition. Dreamy or vague, the vacant smile, a promise of teeth, smoke blowing through neon green light, spilling onto concrete. You don't leave. You never left. Thoughts occur in multiples, like double vision. Lightning strikes twice where no one could visit or light a cigarette. Do you feel the edges begin to feather, a soft vignette, the horizon slowly pulling into focus? And this comes from, those are from the section of the Boneyard. And so now we get in a little bit to the birth manual. Before the book began, the pages of the birth manual blew open in wind. Birds flew out of the sleeves of books. There was rust and persimmon flowers. Dark rooms like membranes pulsating, detached, gray matter bleeding into other rooms, snapshots into memories just on the border of them. Before the wound made legible a function of ink and time. The birth manual carries dust and genuflection. It is a loose binding of smudged and yellowed pages you once discovered as a child buried. Deep under so many years of dirt and sleep and straw, in the hayloft of a barn the color of rust, whose vacant windows gazed onto, and there were reflections framed in window panes trapping light. There was wild oat and ragweed, sweet clover. You were missing teeth. You pulled them out one by one with string. Bruised knees, and you buried the yellow pages in terry cloth like a trove of fine tincture, the color of secrets running backward in time's amnesia. So lovely. There's parts of the birth manual taken out of the birth manual in here. Walk back into memory's absence, an outline of branches in the boneyard where the butcher buries weight in ash, a chain link fence leading us there forever. Did you see the misdeed or just after? Would you have seen the rotten teeth of the guard dog shuddering through all of this? If it's true, then say it. We have always been alone. Here, isolation translates all that goes unspoken. We slice off our words, chew the last bits, or swallow them whole, separate chafe from more chafe, suck on lemongrass to spread the hours. Winter's bad omen always comes to balance its books. In January, amongst the living, the snow fell harder, unrelenting, covering the landscape in white, icy breath. Everyone kept under wraps. Even the meat-packing factory closed its doors, this time for good. When the factory shut down, everybody knew, without saying. It was only a matter of time. Some of us would be handed over to time. Others knew the factory's unconscious arteries like the back of their hand. And there's the factory. I think I have a couple more I want to read. That's from the burial section. The lenses freezed over, laced with crystalline patterns, holding up a mirror to time to reflect the past and future tense. But what do we have now to show for it? There's some very little skin. We don't let go. We live in absence. That irradiated small road, and we will remember the signs. I'm going to read that last one again because that's the one I'm going to leave you with. We don't let go. We live in absence. That irradiated small road, and we will remember the signs. It's really nice. So this is a beautiful book. And like I said, it tells that you can see really there just from what I read, the way she kind of wraps it back into the beginning, which is something that isn't necessary, but it's also something that feels really good for the way that my mind works and the way my creativity works. I enjoy that when I get that sense of, oh, you're pulling it all. You're threading. I'm even making the motion of a thread, like, oh, you're threading this back through to the beginning. It gives me a feeling. This whole book left me with a really wonderful feeling. Julia Madsen, she's a very lovely writer. And you can follow her on her various social medias, which I'll put down there. This is from Turmling Pillow Press, and I'll put it all in the box below. So thank you for listening, and thank you, Julia, for writing this book. Bye for now. It's not ending.